smashed. My mainsail, the bottom of my mainsail's torn to pieces. And then we got into Bass Strait and we stopped dead. And so for 4 hours we didn't move. So we got all our gear out, dried our undies, generally recovered in Bass Strait. And then eventually we got to the Tasmanian coast, got a bit of wind last night. And I've got to tell you, thanks Tasmania, had the best run of my life. We just turned Tasman Light. A nice southerly picked us up, code 0 all the way across, and seriously, I reckon we got here from Tasman Light in, 40 miles? Maybe, don't exaggerate too much, maybe 2 hours, 45 minutes from Tasman Light, averaged about 16, 17 knots. Sensational. Terrible seaway, and lumps and bumps. Most of the crew have got, the usual bruises and bashes. And then what surprised us is that it persisted, and it persisted for nearly 18 hours. And I think so we had, 30 odd retirements? And so the guys spent about 3 hours literally using every bit of sticky back and every bit of anything we could to get the mainsail back together again. It was a great finish to, bluntly, a pretty bloody awful Hobart actually. I don't know why I do this. The usual stuff, you always know when you've been in heavy weather because most of the stanchions are broken at the base as the crew sitting on the rail gets smashed by waves and the crew gets smashed back onto the stanchions. Look, honestly, I know it sounds ridiculous that given we have satellite internet, we don't know where we are, but it was one of those races where you were absolutely frantic the entire time. Even coming down here, obviously you look out there and it's nice and sunny, but when these things are doing, 16 odd knots of boat speed, and we're going through the Melbourne fleet at incredibly high speed, you ain't got any time to be looking at the internet. So honestly, I've got no idea how we're going. I've got no idea. All I know is we're the first TP in.
Typical Hobart, actually. It was a bit hard the first night. We stuck to our plan, which we talked about before the race, and it came out very, very well. I think we got every shift that we wanted. Every sail change was on time. Crew work was absolutely magnificent. Well, we were going to go west early, and which we did that. We went over the top of the eddy like we did in 2008. You remember talking about that. We picked that, went to the right. Actually ended up going well inside Montague Island and came out picking up the southwesterly change we thought was going to be there, and I think that's what did it for us.
And that first night must have been a bit brutal, was it?
It was brutal, yeah. It was a bit brutal, but they did well. They did well. But the guys stayed up all night, which was what we wanted, and they did a damn good job. Yeah. Damn good job.
And you had a pretty good run in from Tasman, I gather.
Yeah. The weather worked very nicely when every wind change arrived about an hour earlier than expected. It was fantastic. So it was bang, 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 right side of everything.
That's another one under the belt. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, 26 Hobarts, 33 I think for Greenie, and a couple for Paul. So good race. Hard at the start, obviously. Plenty of boats retiring. But quite a pleasant run down the coast of Tasmania yesterday, and a nice finish in the Derwent this afternoon.
Pretty sort of boat-busting conditions on that first night, yeah?
Yeah, no question. I think the conditions of the Hobart over the last 26 years have been more severe, but I think more trying on the gear. The wave motion was a very short chop. I think a lot of boats were probably dropping off waves. There would have been some delamination, hull damage, etc., and really hard on the guys as well, because it certainly wasn't smooth sailing out there.
Difficult decision points for you during the race?
Well, obviously there was that front coming through on the first night, and we managed that extremely well. We were well prepared for it, and that was really the key transition. And then obviously we stuck to our game plan on the way down the Tasmanian coast, and it actually all did come to play, which is most unusual for a Hobart race.